The film starts on Bird Island, where all the little birds are enjoying a sunny day out. Red has been enjoying his reputation as a hero ever since he saved everyone from the pigs. In order to maintain his status, he keeps an eye out on Piggy Island with Chuck and Bomb. The pigs fire a pie at the birds on the beach. Red spots Leonard and his new assistant Courtney as they all engage in a war of throwing hot sauce, using a giant magnifying glass to burn things, and dumping a ton of crabs onto the beach. Suddenly, Leonard spots a gigantic ice ball flying in from another island. It hits the waters of Piggy Island, causing a huge splash. Leonard realizes they are in trouble. Leonard sends a message to Red, calling for a truce. Red doesn't buy it, but the pigs are insistent on it. Chuck and Bomb try to take Red away from his heroic duties to spend the night with them. They take him speed dating, where Red meets Chuck's sister Silver. She tries to determine their compatibility with her own little test, but Red doesn't want any part in the whole scene. Silver determines that Red is afraid to talk about his feelings, so he just walks away from it. Outside Terrence and Matilda's house, their hatchling Zoe and her friends Vivi and Sam go outside to play and act out the events of Red fighting the pigs. They use Zoe's unhatched sister eggs as part of the show, but they end up getting swept away on a raft into the ocean. Leonard and Courtney gather information on where the ice ball came from after using a drone to gather surveillance photos. They learn that they came from the previously unknown Eagle Island. There, we meet the Eagle's leader, Zeta, who is fed up with all the ice on the island since it prevents her from enjoying anything. She works with her assistant Debbie and is planning a change of scenery with both Bird and Piggy Island. Red sulks at home by himself when he is visited by Leonard and a team of pigs. He tells Red about the ice ball, which Red had also seen near Bird Island, but he ignored it. After stressing the urgency of the situation, Red realizes that this could threaten his hero status, so he and Leonard gather Chuck and Bomb. They try to recruit Mighty Eagle, but he appears terrified upon seeing the name Eagle Island. The guys then team up with Courtney and Silver to form their Team Alls. The hatchlings row their own raft into the water to try and rescue the eggs. When they manage to reach them, Vivi comments on how it was too easy that they got the eggs so fast, and that's when a whale shoots water through its spout, causing the eggs to fly up and fall on a cloud. The team gathers for their plan, but Mighty Eagle looks super nervous when he sees that Zeta is the leader, though he denies ever knowing her. The plan is to sneak into Eagle Island and disable their super weapon that is launching the ice balls. Not long after, Zeta launches another ice ball that crashes through Mighty Eagle's cave, forcing the team to run for their lives. Mighty Eagle tries to fly them down, but crashes into a rock column. They all try to float down using their map as a parachute, but it starts to rip, so Silver thinks quickly and strings the hole up to get them to land safely. Zeta watches the scene from her surveillance cameras, but she is annoyed that the birds haven't begun fleeing from the island. She orders her head engineer Glenn to create ice balls filled with molten lava to amp up the threat. The team prepares to leave, with Red assuring everyone that they don't need to evacuate. Leonard pulls up a humongous submarine for them to board. Inside, they meet the pig's gadget developer, Gary. He shows off his array of gadgets, which are mostly useless. Zoe cries over her sisters being stuck up on a cloud, so Vivi and Sam inflate her and use her as a balloon to try and reach the eggs, but they float too high and can't undo the rope on Zoe's beak. They float high into space until a satellite pulls the rope off and sends the hatchlings falling back down. They manage to get the eggs off the cloud, but they then all land on top of a sleeping boa constrictor. Once the team arrives on Eagle Island, Mighty Eagle confesses to everyone that Zeta was his ex-fiancée, and he bailed on her at the wedding, so he is now too scared to face her. He flies back to Bird Island. Red then finds that the others came up with their own idea of using an eagle costume to try and find a way inside the lab to get to the weapon. Red tries going it alone, but Silver joins him, even as he tries to get rid of her. Chuck, Bomb, Leonard, Courtney, and Gary then operate the eagle costume and fool 2 guards to get inside. Red and Silver climb high enough to reach the location of the superweapon's power source. They use a harness to get themselves down. Red gets to the floor and cuts what he thinks is the cord to the weapon, but it's really for the microwave. He and Silver are then caught and taken prisoner. The others in the eagle costume then swipe an ID card off another guard to get inside. The hatchlings beat up the boa constrictor and use her shed skin as boots and hats. They use a leaf as a raft to sail back to their island, only to be greeted by 3 piglets on Piggy Island. The team gets inside the weapons room, but Chuck spots Red and Silver in captivity. They are nearly spotted as he rips their costume off, but the eagle guards are stuck having a dance party. Zeta then traps Red and Silver in ice and tells them that she plans to use the other 2 islands as her own little getaway resort. Silver also notes that Zeta is still clearly mad about what went on with Mighty Eagle. However, Zeta tells Red that it's his fault that the birds are going to get hurt since he told them not to evacuate. She launches a few lava balls across the islands to show she means business. The hatchlings and piglets see their islands being attacked from a blimp they made. Red blames himself for what happens to the birds, as he was just doing this to be the hero, which leads Silver to realize that Red really cares that the other birds like him. She frees them both moments later. Zeta prepares a countdown to start launching a whole mess of lava ice balls on the islands. Red and Silver make their way into an ice ball to get close enough to stop the machine, while the pigs go off to try and shut the switch off, and Chuck and Bomb try to sneak past guards. Leonard and Courtney try to pull the switch, but it breaks off. Chuck rushes to get one of Gary's gadgets to help them with the switch. Red and Silver crash their ice ball down and fail to wreck the weapon. Zeta prepares to stomp on the button to launch the balls, but Mighty Eagle swoops down after having a change of heart. He tries apologizing to Zeta, but she is still mad at him. She reveals that Debbie is their daughter and that Mighty Eagle's first name is Ethan. While Zeta is distracted, Silver gives Chuck her string so he can move fast enough to tie around the machine. When Zeta launches the ice balls, they are pulled back and held from launching. The string starts to break, so the hatchlings and piglets keep it together long enough for the ice balls to come back down and destroy the weapon. After the dust clears, Zeta thinks she sees that Debbie is dead. She shows great remorse for her plan, but then sees that Mighty Eagle protected Debbie with his body. He then pathetically asks Zeta to take him back. Mighty Eagle and Zeta are then married on Bird Island. Matilda then gives a speech and credits Red for his heroism. However, Red decides to give the majority of the credit to Silver, as well as the rest of his friends. A large Mount Rushmore-like monument is built with their faces. Everyone says they love Red even more now for being so selfless. The birds and pigs then have a celebration for their victory and newfound truce. Red and Silver decide to have a date together, but Chuck comes to interrupt. The hatchlings are playing together again when they decide to go see Zoe's sisters hatch. To their shock, the things that hatch out are snakes. The boa from earlier comes with the newly hatched birds, and she gets her babies back. Zoe, Vivi, and Sam are happy to see the little hatchlings and vow to never let them out of their sights, until they do so for one moment, and Zoe's sisters start sailing away from them, causing the three girls to faint.